一体何枚の写真を撮ったのだろう。ダストをテーブルの上から見下ろしたり、床に転がったりと、いろいろなアングルから激写してしまった。よーし、次はかっこよさを加えてみようか。足を開いて腰を落として、そう、そんな感じではっけよい。
Alright, first off, peak hilarity once again with the new episode of Konosuba. Episode number 9 was just freaking effing hilarious from beginning to end. Like, this was definitely like one of the funniest episodes of the season. And it's just so crazy to think about because like there's so many episodes that if you would put them next to any other episode of any other anime going for comedic vibes of the season, really any season, this like might be up there, if not topping a lot of them, which is crazy to think about. And just think about that for a second. Like, think of all the comedy driven anime out there that maybe comedy's not the focus, maybe they're romance, maybe it's isekai, maybe it's adventure, whatever, but the ones that have heavy comedy elements in them, you put this up against any of those and like this is coming out winning on most occasions, maybe not all, but most occasions, which is crazy that you just pick an episode and put it against the, some of the other comedy reference giants, and this one is just like, it's just nailing it. One other thing I was thinking about though as I was watching this episode is, have you guys ever seen an episode of anime and they're going for those virgin vibes, right? They're going for virgin boy allergic to girl vibes, and more often than not they try and take like a comedic spin, or they try and make it funny, but 9 out of 10 times it doesn't land, and you just end up like wishing that they didn't include any of this content, or if they were going to have such a virgin MC, that just don't even bother have him, like just don't make it about harem or ecchi, and just don't do it, just don't bother with it, because it actually makes the show worse for it. And I think if you start thinking for a moment, you could probably think of a lot of different shows that have those type vibes. Like there's a couple of them this season that have those vibes, and it's a little sad to think about, but I think what all those shows are trying to go for, what they wish they could go for, is what they're nailing here with Kazuma and Konosuba. And if you think about it, it's Kazuma definitely wants to, we know that he's pretty intelligent, okay? So we can say that he has a lot of problems. He has a lot of issues, and he has a very specific personality. He's wild, but he's pretty intelligent. And for the most part, I think we can all agree that he would also like to get laid. Period. The end. He would also like to get laid. But he gets presented with these opportunities like he was with Megumin. In the beginning of the season, when he was in the stables with Aqua, and later on when he, got to sleep together with Megumin, and even this moment now, he's had a couple of different interactions, Darkness in the bath. Now we have this interaction here with Darkness once again, willing to just kind of give her all so she doesn't have to give it to somebody else. So lots of moments, but it's not the moment of can he or can't he. It's him choosing maybe except for Megumin, but it's him choosing like you're just too crazy that my fear of what comes after is far greater than me just being completely I'll keep my chastity, and you can tell us what it is, because even in this moment, right, he's like, he has this moment, and it's impossible for him to go, this isn't my time to shine. He could have taken advantage of the moment and gotten some in her, essentially. But he's just looking at her, just like, ugh. Like you can tell he loves her, but just I don't know if it's like that. And he immediately mentions her abs, and just sets her off, and it's just so funny. And I think, going back to a couple minutes ago when I was saying, I think this is the kind of moments that they're trying to have in those other anime. But typically the problem is that character genuinely does like the girl or whatever. They're just too allergic, or I don't know, whatever, 11-year-old, 12-year-old mentality. But I think if you would ask those studios or creators or whatever, I think what they're nailing in Konosuba is probably what they're trying to go for. They're just doing it the wrong way. Because I was thinking of like, why is it that when Kazuma doesn't get laid, it's just so much more enjoyable? And it's because of the way that it's the very specific Konosuba way that it's done, and man, just so funny. And I really enjoy it. Everything else about this episode, obviously, was awesome as well. Everything from finding out the reason of why Darkness is doing what she's doing, being married off and everything. From the moments of him helping out another adventurer, the dude who got killed by the Hydra last week and Aqua had to revive, and loading up the camera with pictures of him, in clad attire, and then finding out the noble actually wanted what they were delivering. Even his friend, the girl who's the adventurer, even she was like, it's like boiling a pot of water, and the rabbit, you didn't even have to catch it. It literally just jumped right in for you. That's exactly the moment she had. So everything she was doing was to protect him. So when she caught him, oh my God. And the fact that Kazuma was like, oh, now spread the legs, now sumo. Like, he was getting so into it. They went above and beyond. Like, that whole scene and scenario was hilarious. And then hearing what happened afterward with the noble, just, oh my God, so funny. Then you have the moments where, obviously he finds out what happened in Darkness. He goes and he infiltrates the, their mansion and stuff. And he uses the entertainment ability that Aqua gave him, and he's able to replicate and mimic her voice and stuff. And oh my God, that is just hilarious. The scene that he depicted with magical devices and stuff was just peak hilarity. Just so fucking funny. Just so funny. And him, and take a side avenue, him meeting with her dad, and basically her dad's like, take her away. And we find out that he's just, unfortunately he's dying. And that's the very real reason she's doing what she's doing for everything. Because the dad was like, we just sell our, like, I'm going to go anyways. We just sell our stuff and we be Gucci. But I thought that was a really cool thing as well too. And then Kazuma just completely failing, dipping out of there with the window and asking Aqua to heal him at the end. Just, again, just moment after, like, I was crying. I was literally crying from laughing. It was just so funny. So, anyways, another week of just peak hilarity. Lots of stuff. And I was really interested. Like, I was very pleased with finding out so many things, but specifically all the Darkness goodies and insights on why she was doing what she was doing. So, absolutely incredible episode. Loved it. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments below. And I'll see you, my friends. I'll see you next week. Peace.